Hi everybody, welcome to the Actors Academy. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're going to be talking about the headshots. And the headshots for an actor are one of the most important things for you. Specifically, I want to tell you guys how you can go and get free headshots for yourself. The reason for this being is because headshots are so important for actors, you tend to get a lot of these over your time and your longevity within this career. Meaning that if you're 20 years old right now and you've won and you've got headshots, you can't use those same headshots when you're maybe 28 years old or 30 years old, because you start to look older as the years go by. And as you start looking older, there'll be certain parts that maybe you can no longer audition for anymore. And when you go into a casting audition and the casting director has your headshot, they want you to look like how you look on your photo. They don't want to look at you when you come in and go, wait a minute, you look 10 years younger here. Why do you look so much older now? They want you and your headshot to match. So naturally, actors will tend to get headshots over and over and over and over as the years go by, as they keep progressing, as they keep getting older. Actors get headshots, they get new headshots. Now the thing that can be hard for actors is the cost of this. I've seen headshots range from anywhere from $300 all the way to $1,000, and this can cost actors a lot of money. Now, all I want to give you guys today in this video is options. That's all I am giving you. I'm not telling you, hey, don't go and pay for headshots, and I'm not telling you, hey, only go and get free headshots. I'm merely giving you options within this video, and you can choose for yourself. If there's a photographer that you love and you're like, man, this person does amazing headshots, that's always great, and you have the financial means to go and pay for those headshots, and you want to go and spend $500, $800 on those headshots, you 100% have that ability and choice at your disposal to go and do that. All I want you guys to realize is that that's not your only option. You have a lot of different options for yourself, and I want you guys to be aware of these so you can choose. Now with these options, you're going to have in total 3 different options. With these options at hand, you can choose to take advantage of all of these options or just one of these options. It's completely up to you. So first we're going to start off with the easy one. This is the one that you guys all know. This is the not free one. The next 2 are going to be free. But the first one is really coming down to actually going and paying for headshots. This is your very first option, and you guys are allowed to do this. What I would suggest you guys do, though, if you guys are planning to go and pay for headshots, you just feel more comfortable. The idea of paying someone for a headshot because they've taken a ton before, that feels better for you, that's fine. What I would suggest for you guys, though, is to go and look at the headshots, the collection that these people have, because there's a lot of different headshot photographers out there, and not every one of them takes the exact same headshots. Not everyone maybe uses the same location. Some photographers maybe give you a blank background where it's maybe blue or pink or green, or it's some certain color in the background, whereas maybe other people will take you out into the world, into an environment, and they just blur out the background behind you. So you really have to go and do your research, and you have to find out, okay, who do I like? Maybe you find 10 different headshot photographers. Go and look at the headshots that they've taken for other actors and compare them and find which one works best for you. Also, which one works into your price range. Just remember that this can start costing you a lot of money, so I do suggest that you guys really do your research in this, especially when you do go for a headshot session. Typically what you will get is pretty much 3 different looks, 3 different headshots that they'll give to you out of your whole session and all that money that you put in there. Again, I'm not saying to not go and pay money for a headshot photographer. Only thing is, it will cost you some money, and that is something that you have to be aware of. But this is your very first option that you have at your disposal. Option number 2 that you have is that you can either take the headshot for yourself or you can have somebody else take the headshot. The only obligation is that you must have a good camera. So you can have a Sony camera, you can have a Nikon camera, but an actual camera. You can't just go and use your phone. Phone cameras typically never give you good headshots. I've never seen a phone get a great headshot of somebody for a few different reasons, because when you have the picture taken on your phone, it will also have to get printed out, because when you do go for an in-person audition and you have to hand them your headshot, you want it to be all very good quality, very good resolution at hand, and the iPhone is very hard to get that. Is it impossible? No, I'm sure some people out there can do it, but it's very difficult, and I would really stay away from this. So the important thing to realize is that you just have to have a good camera for yourself. You don't want to have any poor, cheap cameras. You actually want to have a good camera. It could be a camera that you have, and you can have a family member take it for you, or sometimes they have little clickers that you can go and have the camera take the photo of you. You just have to put it on a tripod. Or you can go and have a friend take it for you. Maybe your friend has a good camera. Maybe your friend's parent has a good camera, and then they can go and take the picture for you. The tricky thing is with this process, though, is that you're not very familiar with how to get a good headshot, the type of angles that you might want to have, the depth of field, the lighting. There's a lot of things that you will have to figure out at this point, and that does make it a little tricky, and that's one of the hindrances by doing it on your own and by doing it by yourself. But this is an option that you have. Now, can you spend the time and can you learn how to get a good headshot for yourself? Yes, you can. It will take you time, it will take practice, and maybe the first day that you're trying to get a headshot for yourself, maybe they'll just be okay, they'll be so-so. But one of the benefits to it is that when you start getting used to it, you can take as many photos as you want. If you have your own camera, every single day you can get a new picture until you get that one perfect one. What I suggest for headshots for all of you is to find that perfect one. Because you guys are going to be going and trying to audition for a bunch of different projects and a bunch of different things, you want to have a good headshot, because that headshot is the first thing the casting director sees when deciding, hey, should I bring this actor in for an audition or should I not? And that can really make or break an actor's career. So there is benefits to going and doing it on your own if you have that means at your disposal. But again, it's very tricky doing it on your own because there are things that you will have to learn on your own by yourself, which it is possible, but it just makes it a little bit harder on you. Now we're on to point number 3. And point number 3 is very nice because it kind of bypasses everything in point number 2 and bypasses things in point number 1, all the negatives that we don't like. So point number 3 is going to be suggesting that you guys go and find a university or a college where they have specifically a photography department. The reason for this being is because there will be a lot of photographers within this photography department, and they are all very, very, very good because they are specifically going and trying to figure out how to be good photographers, how to take amazing pictures, how to take good photographs of people. This is specifically what they're working on and what they're working towards. Now, the reason that this is a free option for you is because these people are also students. And they need to have models. They need to have people come in that they can take the pictures of because they have a lot of class assignments that they have to do. So something that you can go and do for yourself is you can go into this photography department and introduce yourself to some of the photographers there and say, hey, you know what? I'm very interested in getting some headshots. I know that you guys have to go and get some photos taken for your classes and different projects that you guys have. Could we maybe do a little bit of a trade? I'll help you guys out with your project. In return, would you be able to help me get some headshots? Because I'm an actor and I'm really trying to move forward within this business and I really need some good headshots. Would we be able to work something out? And typically, if you're nice, you're kind, and you're polite, and you talk to them on a human level, they'll be more than willing to help you because they're also getting something in return. It's not always the easiest for photographers to have models, to have people to work with. Now, the great thing is, as you're working with them, and if you can progress and get a session with them, they can also do some of the editing for your headshots, meaning when you have a headshot, typically you want to get it touched up a little bit. They'll do some little things here, brighten you up. There's a lot of editing that goes on after your headshot process. So when you're nice and you're kind, it can be a real benefit for you. One of the things that I'll take advantage of when I'm with a photographer is I'll just go and buy some pizza or I'll buy a Starbucks for them, just something to thank them as we go along for this process. And then towards the end, I'll say, hey, you know what? You've been so helpful for me. I thank you for all the work that you've been putting in. Would you mind if, you could do a little bit of this editing on my headshot because I'm just really not used to it and it would help out me a lot. And through this process, you start to build relationships. And as you start building these relationships, they get to know you a little bit more. And you start building a friendship with some of these people. When you can build a friendship with them, it brings you easily back to point number 2, where you can now have a friend take a photo for you in future endeavors when you need new headshots. But at this point, your friend is already a professional photographer. They know what they're doing and they can really help you get those photos. So the great thing is that for this point number 3, the headshots will be completely free. There's a lot of different people in a photography department, so you don't have to just choose one photographer. And let's imagine you do choose one of these photographers and you don't really like the headshots that you get from them. That's perfectly fine. There are multiple people within that department. And the great thing is, it doesn't cost you any money. When you go in and get professional headshots, you do still run the risk of not liking those headshots. It's still very possible that you can go and pay $800 for a session, get headshots taken, and not like any of them. But at the end of the day, you lost $800. Whereas if you went and got it for free, or you went to a university or college where you can find that there's a photography department, there's a lot of people who know what they're doing, they're willing to take photos for you, they got all the equipment that they need to go through this process with you. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't cost you anything. What you're doing though is you're making relationships, you're taking advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you, and it's not costing you any money, it's not hurting your bank account at all. Now, option number 3 is my favorite one for you guys, but does this mean that you have to always go and do option number 3? No, it doesn't. You could do a collection of these things. You could do all of them if you wanted. Maybe you have your own camera at home and you say, you know what, I'm gonna go and take some photos myself. I'm going to go to a university and have someone take photos of me, someone from a photography department who really knows what they're doing, and I'm also going to go and pay $500 for headshots. You can do all of these things if you want. You can do a collection of these things. You could just do one of these things. My job for you guys is just to let you guys know that you have options at your disposal, and whichever one you decide to go with is fine as long as you get a good product in the end. That's all you're trying to do. You're just trying to get an amazing headshot. I don't care if you get an amazing headshot by paying someone for it, by going and doing it yourself, or by going for free to a university and having someone take it for you. Either way, your goal, what you're going to be chasing, is to get a great headshot, and these are just more options that you have at your disposal. So I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date with everything. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you guys. Also, I'll be leaving our newly enhanced 10-hour acting masterclass 2.0 down in the description and comment section down below, as well as our 10 acting resume templates. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.